Good evening, good evening. Welcome to the live Facebook. It's the 10th of January 2024, and of course the topic which we've been waiting for, what many of you may not be surprised, is the Chinese New Year rally. You hear it first on live Facebook, where maybe in the coming days it will be mentioning a lot, but we are the first who cover this. And for those of you who has been following us for some time, we thank you for your support, and without your audience and I suppose, and also the support of our Trade VSA members as well as our Smart Robbie members, it is difficult to do this show, which we've been doing for the many years and months. Now, if you are the supporters or our normal patron, do say hi, give me a thumbs up so I know I'm with friends or some of my members in here. As you can see, my entire backdrop that I have here on my slide is all red because it is the Chinese New Year Rally 2024. I do hope that many of you have been following it. The Green Pentagon, which actually broke off up on Green Pentagon on the, I believe it's on the 2nd of January 2024. That was when it first moved up, and many of you may not be surprised. All right, this Chinese New Year rally is come. But today, we have the 10-point sell-off profit taking because it's hitting the old resistance high at 1500. So you will probably see in the coming 3 to 4 days the likelihood of the market to pull back a bit. So what do we have for you tonight? What to expect for the Chinese New Year rally, and also revisiting the past Chinese New Year rally. So I'm going to share with you some historical outlook in the last 6-7 years. Did we or did we not get the Chinese New Year rally, and what's the underlying catalyst for the market that you've seen? And you may see some of the headlines that is already out there, that the KLCI is 1 year high, right? We have never sort of broke through the 1500, which we did just yesterday, and had an upthrust, which is the sign of weakness from the volume spread analysis. So tonight we're going to be looking at what sectors it is lagging and what sector it is leading. So from then onwards, you have some sort of target to know what to do going forward, right? And where are the opportunities in 2024. So let's get started, shall we? So let's start off with this guy, right? Many of you will know this is a $100 bill note, right? And of course, if you have been traveling maybe to certain parts where the US dollar are more frequent, $100, it's about 460 ringgit in here, and you'll be very familiar with the picture of Benjamin Franklin. Now, along the line, what he is saying that on the opposite side of every crisis, there's an opportunity. Now, isn't that very, very true? Now, we've seen that 2023 was marred with recession. Then we have the Middle East conflict, and of course, for those of you who have a foresight to really buy in on that dip, which also again we talk about it in our live Facebook going back to the month of October and November, which I've been telling many of our members that was the low. And how do we know that? If you are a subscriber of our VSA 360, you will notice the month of September, or even coming to this live Facebook talk, you will know that I've been talking a lot about the month of November being the low, and then we saw December, right? Beginning of December and beginning of November, the market continue to rally very, very quickly and hitting a new high. So all these are within our expectation and also our forecasting. And because we look at the history that we have, the history that is in our VSA 360. So right now is to get and sharpen our mind to ready for that opportunity. And I hope that many of you would have possibly see this opportunity right now, and give me a thumbs up if you feel that the talk are educational enough and we wanted to share with you more in the coming months. Now, last week we talked about the emerging market versus the US market, and the Nikkei. Now this is the theory that I have. You can see Nikkei was up 28% year to date for 2023, and Korea is about 24%. Okay, 24% year to date. So where does this leave us? Now these are what we call the ASEAN region. Okay, they are the ASEAN region and pretty much falls under what we call the emerging market. So the theory that I have, that because of the big rise that they had in 2023 and 24, so they took out that money and now started to flow back to the ASEAN market. All right, so this is the theory that I have. And why is this? Because the market has already run 24-28% in here, but you will notice many of our market hasn't seen the bright day ahead. Now this is also partly due to the lower valuation. All right, and like it or not, our earnings isn't that bad despite what they say. So there are value to be found, and one way I'll share with our members and also you is to use the Smart Robi ratings as anything that is above 4, 5, 6, 7. All those tools are already available for you. All you gotta do is use those tools to your advantage, and you can also follow me on the breakfast show. We do it on Friday and as well on Monday, then you will know it. So the theory is money are flowing out from the so-called Japanese market, the Korean market, and now flowing to the ASEAN market, as such that it will start to trickle down to the so-called, or trickle down or distributed among the ASEAN country, which is Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Indonesia, and this is Shanghai. You can see Shanghai is close about minus 5% here, and a lot of hedge funds are avoiding Shanghai and China market, which I've been talking for the last couple of years. You see that China is something that I feel that if you have time and patience, I'm talking about 2, 3, maybe 4 years, that's a market you want to be buying. Your money be stuck. But meanwhile, I think the US market will continue to move higher. After all, we are looking for returns. So here's the thing. Now, because of the hypothesis that I talk about from the so-called developed markets, okay, like Japan and South Korea, funds are flowing in. So you can see this was the biggest kick, and this came in on the 3rd of January. 2nd, 3rd, 2024. We did have some trickle coming in the month of September, but you can see market continued to fall off. The last 2 days was a dip, and then we have one of the highest. The last time we were this high was in way back in November. Now this is a courtesy of VSA 360 dashboard, and if you don't have that dashboard, make sure you subscribe to it, or at least follow me in here to get the latest update on the foreign funds flows, because the foreign funds will detect. So with the huge amount that we go, market started to break up, and this is where we were. Remember, here is the 1470 resistance. Okay, this blue line here is the KLCI, and the green is the inflow. The red bar is the outflows. All right, you can always watch this again to get a deeper meaning of what I've just said here. All right, so with the calendar event, which again I want to highlight is also very important, this weekend is the Taiwan election, 13th of January, and that's why I believe the US market paused, right? Paused ahead of the 13th of January in here. And Taiwan also last year did pretty well, also double-digit return. Okay, double-digit returns in the stock market for the year-to-date 2023, and I think going forward 2024 will be good, because the DPP, Democratic Party, likely to maintain this is President Choi, and likely to pass on the baton to his assistant William Lai, aided by another Taiwanese pro-US who actually has a dual citizenship. And there we are right now. Here is the Chinese New Year 2024 rally in here. I will talk about how high it is likely to go. It did hit its first resistance at 151 as expected because of the old high 1500, and we see sign of weakness. Right? Many of you know that, which is an upthrust bar, and that makes this market make a U-turn and coming back up, which is really good. So those of you who are watching tonight right now will have some sort of sense what to go to. Then the earliest rate cut that we have will be in April, May. So many of these markets are pricing in, but the pulse that we see in the US market is likely to due to the Taiwanese election. Now, should the election do not go in favorable to the DPP, instead it gone to the Kuomintang, which is a support of the pro-China, then you can see China market will rally in here. But so far what we have seen from the early diagnosis of the polls numbers, it is favorable towards DPP. But then again, you know, the younger voters may vote a change. So expect the weaker summer seasonality, which we'll have in May, which is sell in May and go away. So take note of that one. And also the constant bombardment, a call by all these guru and economists on recession, which I see it almost every day as I scroll through the news. Recession call, alternated by a bullish call in here. So as a so-called unskilled or beginner investor or trader with this constant, what normally happens, you do not have the confidence to build into it. And that's why education is important to see where the market is likely to be headed in here. And then finally is the November 5th. November 5th, again, we're going to have that so-called market bottoming. Will do corrections on the month of October, September, and then a little bit of October will hold on. But the beginning of November, again, same pattern that we saw in 2023 is the presidential election. So that's kind of rundown of the events. So you guys are more prepared ahead of time in here, especially our members who continue to support us. Now for our Malaysian market under the 10th Prime Minister, why is it important is many people are starting to question whether this rally that we see, all right, now we started the Chinese rally, will it go higher? Many analysts, on my next slide, I'll share with you where they are, of the Madami government. And also you all heard about the Dubai move. All this may be just rumors or likely to be unsuccessful. As such, the new king who is coming in, I think in a very short time, did say that he will not cater to any of this so-called Dubai move. Previously was Sheraton move, then they had the St. Regis move, all this kind of thing. All right, so we are likely to see a continuation of the government at least until the next general election, which is could be in 2027. Now give this man, Prime Minister, the 10th Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, a chance to prove that where he wants to go, taking it from the 37th largest economy to the 30th largest economy in here, and a list of goals that he planned to set out in. All right. So if you look back on all this marking, many of the research house backing on what we have seen so far, the hypothesis that the foreign funds are coming in after making a good profit from the developed country like the Japan and the South Korea. They are moving in here. Many of the local analysts are giving it very, very high target. All right. We just touched 1500 when I was talking on this. We were at the 1460. Very quickly, it just shot up to 1500, a 40-point moves. It can be done because why? All you got to do is manipulate a couple of shares, buying Tenaga, buying Maybank, buying Telecom Malaysia, the stocks will go up. Now, if you look from here, the average of the analyst target for year end is 1621. Now, 1621 is giving it almost a 11% up gain. Now, keep in mind, the KLCI for the last 6 years hasn't been up for 11%. Okay, so on the backdrop, if the Madami government under the leadership of Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim managed to push this through, who knows, the 11% here. But let's keep our finger crossed where we have this. The last time we see something like this kind of boom was during the 2013, where a lot of projects under the jail prime minister Najib and where a lot of infrastructure project being made. So you notice, right? This year, if you come across the media and the news, a lot of construction project like the ECRL, the LRT3, even today, the Minister of Transport, Anthony Look, talked about the revival of the 5 LRT3 project that was shelved. They decided to build it. One of them is very near to my house in here, and this will definitely spur the constructions project and then spill over to the property sector, which you also saw many property sector rise, and also the construction property giving it to a lot of the utilities because they're talking about data center there. And this is why we are seeing this rally just on the last 4 or 5 days that we've seen. So that's really what's happening in here. Now on the low side, it's from M Invest giving it a 6.2% with a target of 1545, right? 1755 with a 20%. My take is that it may hit higher, but correction will likely to come in. Again, it all dependent on the performance of the US market. If the US market were to perform better, right, then the KLCI will just probably be a second feeder to eat. Now, only CGS has a 20% upside to this. Now, the macroeconomic reason that I give you in this background will give you a best synopsis to what's likely to happen, so you're not really fearful. You will know where are the opportunities, where are the areas you want to be avoiding. All this will eventually make very many sense to you. So even if you go through the media reading or listening to other influencers, economists in here, start questioning them. Pop up a good question in here. Don't ask question like what to buy now. There is no such question like what to buy now. Everything is relevant. Everything is timing. Use the Pentagon Guider for your timing in here. Now let's take a look at what we are seeing right now on the future market on the 10th of January. With our indicator, the trend line, for those of you who are our Trade VSA members, the Trading View Auto Trend Line is something that I talk about in our training and also on yesterday monthly orientation. This is the determining effect whether the market is sort of overall are still going sideways, but we have a breakout here. So this breakout eventually will have to pull back. The market will slightly turn up. That's where we get that confirmation, which is the beginning of a stage 2. Now we all know stage 2 shares are markup. Okay, stage 2 share at the stock size are markup, and that's why we talk about where we are. The beginning of the Chinese New Year 2024 act as a catalyst to push up this end. But right now we are seeing we have already 2 bar, okay, two bar pullback, which is normal. You can see many times we have here we have an ND 1 2 3 4, so we have 2 bar, so which means tomorrow is Thursday and Friday likely to see a spring on Friday. Keep an eye on spring on Friday. Again, spring is a sign of strength, right? And that's really a good position to be buying right now. All right, now if you look at the Smart Robi charts or VSA 360 chart, this is our Trade VSA. We correctly identified the entry. I think this was on 2nd of January in here, and this is what we are talking about, the spring. All right, those of you who are familiar with our VSA in here, anytime when you see SOP, we have also no supply. Confirm no supply, another strength coming in. If you look at it, how many strength we have? 1 2 3 4, right? 5 strength at the support of 1450, and that's what many of our members has probably no surprises why the market go up. So right now we have one very, very strong sign of weakness, which we did here. You can see it tumble 1 2 3 4. So we started 1, we're going to have another one here, so that will take us to Thursday and Friday. So Friday we are looking for a spring because we just have the upthrust follow through, which means follow through means follow to where? Downside or upside? Follow to the downside lah, of course. Follow to the downside in here. We are only seeing the early stages of a stage 2 share, and this is known as 2024 Chinese New Year rally. All right. Now, if the Chinese New Year is rally, what are we looking for? What are the characteristics and the patterns I want to share with you? Now, if you look back to the past, you cannot really find much of a history, but I have shared with you before on the earlier thing, Year of the Dragon 2024, right? In the past 60 years of Dragon year, Dragon is the second best performing in terms of stock market, okay? That is by the US standard lah, not the Malaysian one lah. US standard, second best performing. So you can see that the Year of the Dragon would more or less give you a bit of, you can see 2022 was actually the good year that we see in here. Now these are all the past Chinese New Year dates. You can see February 8, so you want to be looking at the January-February combo months. February 8, 28, February 16, February 5th, February 25, February 12, February 1, January 22nd, that was one of the earliest, and then February 10 for this year. So of course, for those of you who are celebrating Chinese New Year like myself and my family, I'd like to wish you a happy success trading year in the Year of Dragon. Early Chinese New Year wishes better. Don't have to wait to Chinese New Year because I'll be taking a couple of breaks. And I hope by the time you're listening to the Chinese New Year rally, you have taken some fair bit amount of profit like what I'm doing now, also selling into this rally. Think of some of the stocks I've talked about in the past and they mark up very, very high. Sell into it. Trust me, my gentlemen, sell into this rally that you see. And that's why we see uptrust. So these dates are important. Now, of course, you want to, what we call, extrapolate to them. Where are they? You can see February 8th. 2026, but February is a time where what do you notice? When the Chinese New Year come, many people buy during Chinese New Year. No. You want to be selling to the Chinese Year. So remember, this year Chinese New Year is February 10. Now is January 10. All right. So now is January 10. You're listening right now. We have this 1 month of either a push up or down, and this is where the focus on those individual stocks is important. So you can see here. All right, when it comes to Chinese New Year rally, you want to be selling. January 28, this is a good year, but you notice December started also. February 16, 2018, February here, and you can see January month, which is where we are. See 3% and 4% already rally in here. So this is important, and of course, many of our members use this VSA 360, the monthly seasonal dashboard, okay, to your, if you're not subscribe yet, you want to check out and look into being a member where you'll be guided by myself and also by our support team in here. So 2019 we have February. You can see this has a back and then started to pick up. Of course, January year 2020 we are all locked down, isn't it? Right? This was the COVID-19, okay, which is almost 2 years. And you can see here also February, very bad sell-off month. Then 2022, okay, also we have the also very bad year. So 2022 was what year? 2022 was the Russian-Ukraine war, right? The Russian-Ukraine war where we have the interest rate going up. You can see, right? But February 1st, okay, the market rebounded in here. 2022, again, January 22nd, right? We can see, right, the rally did not materialize. So if you look back on this, only 2028 and maybe 2027, we have a little bit of Chinese New Year rally. So it has been a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, it's been 5 years. We have a Chinese New Year holiday. 5 years, no Chinese New Year. So this is the first time it's coming in. And if you look from here, a 3% in here. So meaning we have a little bit more to go. Maybe about 1 or 2% for the month of February in here. Do take note. The market has moved up 3%, and historically wise, we do not have a 3% for January and the 3% for February. Okay, so we don't get that at all. Okay, so that's going to put you into some sort of state where we are looking at. Now, one of the reasons why, if you notice, right, many of this stock has already had a good run. Some of the super big cap for 2023, you can see YTL Power were the big winners, more than over 220%. Now this is respectively because if you look past in YTL Power, in the past, there really haven't been anyone. FNN did pretty well, Sunway, Gamunda, Inari, all the way. You can see these are a lot of them on consumer industrial products. The banks, some of the Hapsing, Petronas, PBB, Nestle even didn't do that kind of well. Nestle actually had about a minus 20% fall. I believe this is a lot of foreign funds selling into it. Okay, now if you look back on the big cap stock that were above 10 billion, this was between 1 to 10 billion here, right? And UEM Sunrise, a lot of construction, you know, this construction, rubber glove, okay, make good comeback. Hatta Lega also make a good comeback. And some of the so-called inflation sensitive stocks, you can see consumer, right, all didn't do badly. So some of these stocks, I think in the coming months may do well. The consumer and also, yeah, I think consumer, right? Consumer and maybe one or two tech company. Remember 2022, tech company in Malaysia didn't do so well. So those are so-called the early primary analysis that I have so far. Now, if you like what you have listened so far, give me a thumbs up. And of course, our members who are being in here, do say hi. At least I know who you are. And usually it's always very lonely to be here talking to you all. Good to know who are my audience. And again, Year of Dragon, remember, it is a positive year return in here. Now, let's take a systematic approach to the Bursa Malaysia, okay, the Malaysia stock market sectors in here, right? So there are many sectors, right? Energy, we have the consumer, healthcare, finance, the technology. This is the US category system in here. So what we want to focus is those separating, okay, separating those that have moved up and those that have not moved up. So here is that we're going to go on to the VSA 360 to pick up what are things that we have not done so. Okay. So first thing first, you want to go back to the dashboard. All right. Again, this will ensure that you log in and find those right sectors in here. All right. So let's go on to here. So once you open up in here, you can see the sectors, everything is green. That's a good thing, right? You can see some of these has been green pentagon. You can look at property has made a good run almost for 29 days. And then finally, we have an uptrust. And that's where we see this sell-off that we have. Okay. Now, of course, if you have any questions, hi, James. Good to see you. Hi, Elvin. Okay. Our regular members in here. Thank you. It's always good to count on you, James, who has been following me for the last Monday for our training, Tuesday for our monthly orientation, and also our Wednesday live talk. I hope you don't get tired of me talking, but again, some of the information I'm sharing in here may be news to you. You can see technology has also been moving up for the last 28 days, all hit uptrust, like you notice here, KL Utilities, also uptrust. You can see all similar, right? Uptrust. This is a 2-bar reversal. So we have KL Health here, still continue to go higher, the KL Health. So this is always good to keep it. The KLCI, you can see this is where you get the uptrust. And then you have the finance. Okay, you can see the finance in here, still going up, but also an uptrust in here. So only the finance has turned green pentagon only the last 4 days. But property, technology, telecommunication has run up a lot. You can see, right? So it shot up a lot. And this is where you get this resistance right now. So a lot of them are facing tough resistance. If the economists and the analysts early on are seeing that the market can go up to 1621, average about 10 or 15 of them, then many of this eventually will break up. But that would require the foreign funds, which we talk about from those developed countries like Japan and Korea flowing into our Malaysian market in here, which is possible based on the Madami government. Remember, a lot of them are PR kind of work. They have to be constantly telling people we are doing well and doing well. That is always been this business that we are doing in here. All right, so that's on the VSA 360. Make sure you get a copy or subscribe to our VSA 360. Now another systematic approach is here from the edge. Now of course you can't see it. Now what we want to do, look at, this is for 2023. Some of the stocks which has run a lot, like construction 26%, property 40%, healthcare 13%. So we want to pick those that hasn't run a lot. You can see this is last year. Technology, okay, what else? You can see a consumer minus, right? You know where I got finance, yes. Transport already run, and this one we have technology. So tech, so and what we have the finance, then we have the consumer, okay. What else here? Telecommunication, I think run out a lot already. We have plantation also. So we have these three sector that I like. So looking from this, right, I divided the market into the leader, which we have seen construction, rubber, property, and utilities. For Bursa sector, like technology, finance, consumer. The other one is industrial product. Okay, so these are the one that if you come across any of the stocks, especially those of you who are using Smart Robi or using the Pentagon Guider, then what you want to be looking is some of these stocks. But I'm going to share with you how VSA 360 members can use this to your advantages. All right, again, for Bursa to go up, they need inflow. Okay, inflow is what's happening in here. The last 4 consecutive days of flowing in, market should straight up in here. Now we're going to having a pullback. I do see that tomorrow we'll see outflows because we have 11 points down in the KLCI. Now of course in the Star business that I shared last Wednesday, yep, these are some of the stock pick by the analysts in here. But take note, I want to re-emphasize in here, well, some of the stocks that I like, you can see that generally most of these are growth stock. But even if you go stock, you want to buy them at a lower PE. The lower the better, because it means it's cheaper. So here you can get 9 times, M-Bank at 7 times, Gamuda 14 times, Welesto a bit high lah, 282. So that's the one I don't like it. Right? PBA already run very high. ITA about 19 times. So again, if you go back to the past 2023 gains, Gamuda 27, Samana 42, Welesto, Genting started to pick up. The last 2 days, Yinsun and AMB hasn't started it run yet. So those are the one that actually is pretty good. ITA also 1% in here, and this is the water utilities 98%. So it's gone up very, very high already, right? All right, this one I'll probably skip it. All right, the other stocks list that I have, if not, you can watch. So some of the stocks that I like, what I've said is Matrix, Yinsun. Matrix is in property. Yinsun is in energy. Westport is logistic or transport. This one is also logistic and transport. Okay, logistic. So let's take a look at the chart right now on these stocks that we have here. Make it smaller and extend this. Okay. So first one we have see is Matrix. Matrix concept pace still in a nice uptrend, and this is what we talk about, very important. Especially when you get the VSA 360, you can put this auto trend line. That is where we want to buy on pullbacks. So like here I said before, when the market is going higher, you can see this auto trend line. You want to be using the market stages together, market stages and trend line, buying at the bottom here. This is where the gray bars. Once the gray bar here, the green bar comes in, that's where it starts to initiate back. The market is moving up nicely in here. So you are acting ahead of the green pentagon. You can see here, green pentagon turned on the 3rd of November, but when you see the first time where it took out, right, the positive zero line here, this is what we call a zero line with the green bar, is the entry point. You can see here at 153. So right now we can see here pretty good, right? This is Matrix, right? Next one is Yinsun. Okay, you can see Yinsun also going up in a nice uptrend, But this one is better. You can see started to turn gray bars already, right? Gray bar means the market right now is pulling it. This is what we call the pullback on the uptrend. How do you know it's an uptrend? Look at the auto trend line that you see here, automatically plotted. This means this is uptrend. It's based on the 20 to 30 calculation points of in here, meaning the trend is still intact. It's likely to go higher in here. Okay, next one, Westport. Again, uptrend. You can see this is only one bar pullback. These are two bar pullback. The green bar shoots up, and today it is still up 0.81%. But you notice, the whole KLCI down 11%, right? This bugger still going up. Why do we know that? I've shared with you on Monday as well on Tuesday for our members. If you have not considering being a member, do join us for our member in here. And this is what I talk about, using the trend line, which is the trading view pivot point, plus the market stages to draw this. Make sure the trend line is up. Look for the gray bar that you have in here. And if you were to buy the gray bar, put in a stop loss at the support, because while you're buying in a nice uptrend, the pullback comes in much easier to execute, and then the market will drives up in here. All right, next one, Tasco Berhad. Now Tasco Berhad, if you look from here, it is still, what trend is this going? Can you see it? It's not an uptrend like what we saw for Westport, Yinsun or Matrix. It is, good morning, Hafizi from the land of Hornbill, a good one in here. Thank you for your support. So you can see from the Tasco, the trend line is going downwards. So this is not a pullback. This is not a pullback. This is the other trade. Remember what we talked about, the other trade patterns? This is a reversal pattern. You can see Tasco, sharp drop, has some gray, push back up in here, but this is not to buy. You have to wait for it to pull back to gray line in here and then retest back, all right, which will take you another 2 or 3 more weeks. Tasco, if you buy now, show mati kiao kiao one. Why? This is one of the setup which we have seen time and time over again. If you follow this, like what we talk about on our weekly training, and of course those of you who are a member did not catch the Monday training, no worries. In our VSA 360 dashboard, check out our VSB trading demo in here. We have the knowledge center. A lot of our video archive are recorded. You can also follow up by then. So Tasco, not as good as Yinsun, Westport or Matrix, but again, why is one of those stocks which was recommended by the analysts in here. You want to be buying when the setup is successful or proven to you, then only you do the trade. All right. So for our members, just to recap what we talked about just now, there are 3 advanced VSA pattern. The first one is the reversal pattern, low risk. You wait for the stock to go higher. It's like riding a 3-legged tree view bicycle, very stable one. But the best one of all, which I recommend many of you do, is the pullback with the uptrend, which give you the best moderate risk and reward. And of course, there are some, the change of momentum is riskier, right? These are stocks I believe was by Kim Long. Let's take a look at Kim Long has this, and I think Genting also same thing. I say Kim Long go straight up, right? After the pullback, today up another 2% here. You can see uptrend, breakout. What else we have? Kim Long. I think Genting Malaysia, but it's not halal. Kim Long is halal. You can see this is the breakout. Again, uptrend, breakout, and then pull back. We had to wait for the gray line in here. When it does, it will go up. I think Kim Long is back. You see Kim Long going up. TSH, which is also a plantation. Are those guys going up? See Tara Jalan one. How about this is THS Malaysia. Mana Jalan Tara Jalan. Then the other one is plantation one is IOI PG. IOI plantation. IOI Corp. I think we take IOI Corp. Oh, not this one. Any plantation stock are good one. Give me one. Off my head, Genting P. Okay, Genting P. Okay, Genting P also going a good company. The plantation will go up. But you notice the CPO prices, is it going higher? Yep, CPO prices are moving up, but still hovering here. Did test 4,000 coming in, but just turned green pentagon or following the CPO prices in here. All right. So again, 3 patterns, members, to take advantage, especially this Chinese New Year rally. The reversal pattern, we saw the example with Tasco, pullback with uptrend, Yinsun, and what's the other one? Matrix, okay, and Westport. Change of momentum, KM Long. So these are the one. And if what I said before, the foreign funds were to come in, a lot of this advanced setup will give you the return that is needed. Okay, the return that is needed, because education right now is important, where you want to reverse the psychology of the losses that you have in 2022 and what better, in 2022 and right now in 2023. All right, this what better way 2024 to start this new with the right approach in mind. Now, of course, we also want our member to apply the VSA setup that they learn in our weekly training. All right. So these are the ones. So if you're looking at technology, use the LT minus 0.5 and minus 1. So from here onwards, you want to be looking for stocks. Okay. We don't want to buy too expensive in here. Maybe somewhere around UWC. Okay. UWC, where they are. Right. And then you can see using that pattern in here. This again is a reversal pattern, right? The market tests once, you can see, but we need to see more gray area. Remember last night here? So this one doesn't pass out. Unisem. Maybe you look at Inari. Inari is in an uptrend. You can see different. Yep, this one in here has. You can notice the trend line hasn't turned up yet. So which means the market, once it started to turn up, usually what do we get? We will look for pullback. All right. If this thing trend line turn up, we wait for pullback. Don't jump in and buy Inari now, because the market will turn back as we see the sell-off that we are seeing in US. Oh yes, Dara, TH Plant. We will look at that. TH Plant will be a change in the momentum too, right? What else we have? IT Max. IT Max is uptrend. There's a pullback in here. You can see, right now you have a one spread bar coming back in here. It's going to hold its base in here, but you want to wait for the gray bar and followed by one green bar, then you go for it. Okay, so that's for technology. Next one you have is construction. The reason why we want to do this is some of you like construction, so we want to see whether we have trades or not. First one, let's look at Gamuda. Right, uptrend, you can see good one here. Market started to pull back. Wait for it's going to undergo the green bar here, touches the red dangerous bar. It's likely to pull back like what we see in here, back into gray line here. And once in the gray line, which is at the right spot. Okay, wait for the pullback to come, because we are just in the January month in here. Patient. Kajaya, also very similar. You can see uptrend, pullback in here. Just wait for them. Okay, Kajaya. We have Kim Long. Okay, Kim Long or Kim Long. See this one in here hasn't turned right. You notice this is again construction, still downtrend, started to turn up because these are the second tier lagger in here. Okay, market started to turn up, wait for the pullback, then go in. All right, so there are many choices in here. Make sure you use those tools to your advantages. Okay, always like what we say in our Monday live training, practice first in our virtual trading, and later I'm going to share with you some of our member who done pretty well through our coaching and method and sharing those. Of course, the next lagging sector is the finance. Now, finance is a big part of the FBM KLCI 30. So if the market were to go higher, many of these finance stock will also go up, right? Later, in a couple of slides later there, I'm going to share with you what are the stocks that I really like. All right, let's go into it. Now, in terms of using what I've just talked about, the trend line and market stages, just going to repeat in here. Market is, first of all, the trend line is going up. This is an uptrend in here. Why is VDAT not moving? Yeah, it's still flat. Not yet. Have to tunggu sikit. Elwin, we talk about this. Right, let's look at sometimes because now people got choices Okay, let's look at VDAT. Yeah, this one akan datang, don't worry. See, still uptrend, right? here. Have to be a bit patient, Evan. This one we have. Okay, then let's talk about here. So market will likely to pull back, and we're going to be seeing gray here. So wait for it, the gray, because you're going to have another bar to come back down here. And once you get that gray, wait for the green one. That's the one, and the trend is still up. So apply using trend line, market stages. Make sure you have the market stages to back you up. Okay, very easy. Next one, Unisem. Okay, Unisem still going sideways or downwards. Market turning gray here. So not so good, right? Because what you want to do is wait for it to turn green Pentagon. But guess what? You got spring, you got NS, you got test. So there is the strength in the background. And then later on, we want to see that thing going up. Okay, the trend line. Suncon started to break up here. Again, we want the trend line started to move up, but not a time to buy lah. If you buy here, show die one lah. You have to wait for the gray. This is the gray. Wait for the gray. Pull back first. Once that gray pull back, so it's very patient. Now, isn't having a tool like this will put you in the right spot using the market stages. Okay, this market stages is calculated by our proprietary formula in here. And once you use this, you don't huru hara. You will use the stages, the trend line, the green Pentagon, the sign of strength to your advantage. Don't let Chinese New Year and then buy right now and then market go down. Okay, so use this to your advantage. Just listening, this is so good. Okay, and M-Bank also same thing. You can see, right, when market was going up, you have this gray pullback and one of the bar here, then market started to push up again. So again, we are waiting, see, and remember, market always do like that, like that. Like that. Okay, we are still early stages. All right, and to the 10th of February. Now this person in here, who is he? Anybody know? Want to try not to answer? Siapa ini? Okay, you want to try to answer this person? Who is this person? This is no other than Thomas Edison. Now, Thomas Edison always say, smart people learn from their mistakes, but the real sharp one learn from the mistake of others. And this has always been what we are trying to do and achieve in here, right? Learning from the mistake of others. And more so, in one of the ways that we are doing it is through our back testing, right? And to our years of back testing, and remember in 2023, we recommended the Pony Express methodology. Now, 2023 has come to a conclusion, and that's why now I want to share with you the result of our 2023 back testing, and so far it goes, right? And why we want to do this is because in many circumstances, trading is very difficult. It's like shooting archery while riding a horse. Riding a horse is tough enough, but it can be trained with the right tools like the Pentagon Guider, the methodology in here, and the so-called lots of practice without real money. Virtual trading become very possible. Now you can see from our previous winner, we have Sukumaran, Mayfen, Upa, all this. They are our long-time support in here and continue to do well. This was our first series that we started in 7th of September. You can see eventually they started to build up. There's about like me 800 over ringgit, and then time over time again you can see that compounding effect comes over. So tonight we want to share with you the statistics of our virtual trading that we do every Monday. I'll pick the stocks, and many of you who are a member as well, the public, can follow if you become one of our members and join in. And so the stocks that I talk about, I also share with you. It's important we talk about the win rate and the loss rate, so you know when you apply them to the real situation, your own account, right, you already have a good feel. What's the win rate? How many losses in a row, winner in a row, total profit? So, and then you just need to focus on the execution. Elwin, not Wyckoff, it's Thomas Edison, okay? So here we are, the back testing that we do, basically looking at the past, applying what we have just learned, entering at green Pentagon, exiting to at a specific profit or a red pentagon, and that's how we manage it. And from then onwards, you want to improve the strategy going forward. So these are the results that we did in 2023. Now 2023, you can compare to the small cap stock, which is 9.4%. Our backtesting has given a good returns. You can see the best optimum was the 69 cent to $1. That, having said that, means when you pick the stocks, you want to be picking from 69 cents to $1. This is a really a nice sweet spot, or above the 91 cent to the 23 cent here. So take note, members, this is where we have, and you can see if you total up, only the year 2019 was a losing year. Of course, the COVID year was 2020 and 2021. You can see they done pretty well. But 2022 was a very bad year, right? Minus 5.6%. But you will notice through the unique entry and exit, it still comes out a positive 20%. So the tools have proven itself. So going forward, what we need to prove is to get our members to do it. So we want to ensure year 2023 continue to grow into 2024. I think that's why you're here. That's why you also want to learn that some of the few things that you can pick up for year 2023, able to move on to 2024, and having an equity curve of 100,000 going straight up to 250,000 through trading in here. And that's what we are trying to do, replicating this so you can see some of this result. So we want to ensure the learning continuity with the coaching and mentoring. What better way is through our advocate of our mentor and coaching, which we started the CV2 session in here. We started 7th of September to 7th of April. So they can see many of our members started to trade. And I'm going to share with you some of the examples that we have done pretty well. So we do 2023 continue to be very successful in here. And partly we just need to do few simple steps where you practice daily, and that's why I'm here with our members. You know, every Monday the live training is there, the stock pick is given to you, you can follow them, pick them for your stocks, and also we updated on our notice board. That's really one of the privilege being our members in here. If you're not a member, you want to consider becoming our member. So you can see the end of the 6 months, which is our CV2, which is what we call the supervised trading in here. Now notice earlier on we have Sukumaran was at 800. He started off, but there are other members like Mayfen from 50,000 gone up to almost $7,000 profit. We have Veronica here. There is a stock adjustment in here. The profit is not that high, so we've done some adjustment in here. Myself is below my students. James, who is also with us, did pretty well, a $5,000 profit in here, almost a 10%. Remember, we started this on the 7th of September up to, I think last night, up to 9th of January. Again, this is virtual trade. They are performing almost a 10% return. And remember, the back testing we have done so far, if you go back to here, has proven, right? Depending what kind of trade, 49 cents, 69 cents, you should able to make this kind of profit. So in 3 months, many of our members already done 10%. So can they achieve 20, 30%? Who knows? If you follow the steps, right, it's possible. So here is the important proposition. The methodology that we choose you should already work. The question is, can you ensure the continuation learning and the coaching method? So this is why we said that feel simple and disciplined practice every day, right? So you can see from here, Sukumaran was back here, but he mentioned he lay off a bit, but we'll take a look too. Okay, so our members training coaching that we're doing every Tuesday in here. Of course, many students make money. There are few who didn't make money. There were only small losses, about minus 1,000 out of the 50,000. Why this is important? Because here we emphasis is to trade without money first. If you cannot make money with what we call paper money, why bother using real money? You can lose more, right, than the subscription fee, the cost to join our premium membership in here. But many people choose to do it on their own and miss, and I see them miss many opportunities. So you can see if you're just following that, you can even get around the 20% return for the year 2023 in here. Now this is the Monday live trading that I did, so I'm going to share with you. I done 34 trades, so my 50,000 now has gone to a 5% return in how many months? 3 months. And this is what it looked like, the monthly curve. We started in September, so 2.7%. October, down month, right? November, minus 2.3. A lot of the trades I entered in November. A lot of the November trades I closed. A lot of trades actually come from October, because I closed in November, so that's why November was a -1. So right now, a lot of trades I closed from November in December, and I got that 4% return. So if we add that accumulative return, it's about 5.5, but about 5% return for 3 months. Now it all depends on your goal. If you are hardworking, like some of our members, they can actually do much better than the 10% return. All right, so let's look at the statistical. Right, the winning rates is about 44%. Average win rate per trade is 282 ringgit. The size of the trade that we're doing is 10%, 10,000 ringgit, right? Which means I will always share with you. So you're winning about 2.8%, okay? And if you lost 200 ringgit. That's a minus 2% loss for a 10,000 ringgit trade. So which means 2% is 200 ringgit lah. So there are 5 consecutive losses, 4 consecutive winners that I trade in here. There's a commission paid. How much was $633 in here? Maximum drawdown was only 5%, right? You can see from here. And these are all the trades that I've done from 50,000 going to 52,000. Lowest was around 49,000. So I actually gone back to where I started with my 50K here. And all the trades you can see during the month of, here was the month of November. We started in September. You see the September month, and October month was a losing month. You can see OpenSys, Usma, Lei Hong. Here's the key point. Okay, here's the key point. I cut on capital A. Okay. Now, of course, you may wonder logically, economic reopening ma. So why I shouldn't hold on to capital A? Correct not? But I follow those rules, and I want to share with the members. If you follow those rules, you could able to exit with the money that you have. This is a key point. That's why it's called Pony Express. Remember Pony Express, the whole reason is delivering a mail from point A to point B. If you jump on the horse or the pony, dia tak jalan, it cannot ride. Do you still sit on the same horses? No, right? Of course, logically, when you do that virtual trade, we supervise you, we force you to cut loss. It's not that easy. It's easy to cut loss when no money is involved. But point is, if you repeat it, the disciplined small single step, which I talk about, like Thomas Edison does it, right? Then you're able to trick the brain of yours. Hey, I'm able to cut loss. I'm able to execute the trade. Does it make sense or not? If it makes sense, give me a thumbs up. And that's what the whole purpose of the virtual trade that we are doing. So from here onwards, I'm able to get hold of Comfort. All right, Comfort was a good trade, and then my portfolio from what 49K should spread up to 52K, close to about 52K, and then I'll make a small loss. Masing, I make some money, and these are the opening trade that I have: Redstone, Ban West, CCK, MK Land. Okay, through our Pentagon Guider. So this is really a short synopsis, what we have done through from September, October, and November. And those members continue to trade together with me. You can see this is one of the users, done 15 trades, right? But here's the key point. He continued to trade, started with 50,000 and made up to here. Then a lot of losses, right? What would the normal people do? Not small losses actually. You can see I went down to 46%. The drawdown is 10%. So which means from the high here of 53%. Hi Nora. Okay. They went down to 46. So it actually went down a 10% drawdown. Okay, because it went out to 46K. For most people, they say panic, or they double down, they trade. But remember, once you know the VSA 360 seasonal month, you will know December month is a comeback. So he decided to trade. You can see win effect. Even capital A is so same, right? Because they follow Jaya Tiasa, then got Tax Scam, Saucon, right? Then got back into capital A, Ramzone, right? Then these are the stocks are like same like me, Jax and so forth. So you can see September, October, November. But when the good month comes, just like now the Chinese New Year, if we get that rally that we're supposed to get, you can see your portfolio for January 24, it's going to improve. So for December, there was about almost close to about 9%, and that's how he made a comeback. The portfolio gone down and then went up. So usually a lot of courses, a lot of the programs, they don't go through this, what we call a supervised coaching and mentoring, where we look at the portfolio. Because we do it in our system, Trade VSA is a technology company, we're able to provide you the kind of detailed analysis. Whereas a lot of the software out there don't do this. Even if you trade through your live trading, good and bad trade, you cannot analyze it. So this is definitely one of the good point in here. So there's another example. You have another user, lost 2% only. He only did 10 trade. Now, why I say this is because he traded only in November. He missed, we remember we started in September here, October, right? And then December didn't trade. Only January come back again. So remember, December was a good month. The last trader he had was November. So he missed totally the December month. And this is, I cannot emphasize more. You must continue to trade. Just like if you are a trader, you must always look for it. And of course, the VSA 360 monthly seasonality will give you a guideline. Where are the good months? December, January are the good months. So you must continue to trade. All right. So the latest one, you can see Sukumaran came back to 2007, and you know, many of the students there are doing much better. So be like our student, like Mayfan, James, who is watching now, and also Sukumaran in here. They came from Series 1, still continuing to perform on Series 2, and you can too if you're not a member yet. But if you're continuing a member, please come to our monthly live training and monthly training. And I can emphasize more, studying the analysis, the training method, that psychology is more important than figure out when to in and when to out. Do what I say this makes sense? If I think, give me a thumbs up, because I find it many times a lot of students just want the most canggih tool. But if you're not able to analyze the trade, missing the important months, because being a fund manager, being a trader myself, these are the things I want to share with the member. If they can see through, that's why our program is very good. So remember, every crisis there will be an opportunity in here. Critical sectors to look at for this coming 2024: technology, construction, and finance. You know how to look for them. Go over the VSA 360, pick up some of them. If they do come out in your smart Robi, use them to your benefit in here. The ringgit continue to strengthen, as I said before. You know, we're looking at 4.4. Right now it's 4.64. The market deep tested the 4.5, but will come a very favorable method. So summary in here, right? I think I've talked about this, but no doubt, let me just give a closing point. Middle East conflict, Taiwan is coming in. So the first one was 13th of January. AI, semiconductors, the NVIDIA continue to add on. Fed cuts in April and May. Then the question, of course, my members, I already told them the strategy for 2024, continue to trade the VSA Pony Turbo Express. And for those of you who are member, I welcome you to join our membership in here. There's a number in there. You can find out more about our program, or just follow me on the breakfast show on Monday. Right, and on Friday, I'll be back on Friday in here, and also trading the US market through our USmart partnership in here, offering cheat broker. And if you open an account through USmart, use that link over there. Make sure you use the invitation code NYVJPA, and you get the 400 Robi, which you can claim for a smart Robi bags. And many of our members already received the smart Robi bags, right? So we thank you for your support. Hope that when you go out, show off your big orange bag to do your shopping, especially Chinese New Year, have to buy a lot of cookies. Put it that in there and you'll be really happy. Orange, and also orange, you know, the oranges all also. Alright, so my 2024 quote, right, is give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. And that's our whole point of our supervised coaching, mentoring, especially those of you from the Smart Robi will use and find out how Pentagon really helped you a lot. All right, so that's all we have for tonight. Thank you again for coming and the support of our members. Without you, Trade VSA would not have a successful year like we have in 2023 and going forward 2024. I think will be very similar based on the tools, the back testing, and you have. Now, if you have any question you want to put in there, do pencil in there. Else, do share this video in your timeline so more people will benefit of the methods that we are doing, both in the supervised coaching and trading in here, as well as all the tools that we have. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you on Friday, right? And happy Chinese New Year. Welcome the Year of Dragon.